Of Buckeyes tomorrow morning for Wednesday, August 24th. Going great already. I'm your host, Tom Orr. The Notre Dame game is in 11 days, the game against Michigan in 95 days. Why are we doing a live show? Well, we're here at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Ohio State classes started on Tuesday, which means Ohio State practices moved from the morning to the evening. So now we're here at Ohio State in the evening, which is about the time we put this podcast up. Why make the good people wait, Tony Gerdeman?
Feels more like a lazy man's move on your part, and I respect it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if you can't wing it, you'll never make it in this business.
That's true.
Will we make it in this business? I don't know. Probably not because of the lack of winging it. So we are here at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center because we're talking to the defensive backs tonight. Talked to Perry Eliano, talked to Tim Walton. Whole mess of corners and safeties. They had three tables going all at the same time. Kevin Noon was here with us, so we had all three tables covered. If you want, you can watch every single second of those interviews on the YouTube channel, the Buckeye Huddle YouTube channel. We streamed all of them live, so you can hang on every single word. We're going to kind of give you the cliff notes on what we learned. I guess let's start. If we're going to start on the defensive backs, I feel like I'm kind of obligated to start with Denzel Burke. He was a freshman sensation last year, breakout, true freshman starter, game one. Now he's had another year, got some new coaches teaching him. You know, how much better can Denzel Burke get?
Well, he's gotten better, according to Tim Walton, who played at Ohio State. So I asked him, how aware were you of Denzel Burke last year? And obviously, you know what it takes to start at Ohio State. Like, what does it mean that a freshman was able to start here, and how impressive is that? And he just talked about, like, it shows you the dedication that he has. It shows you how seriously he takes his craft. And he did say he is better this year. I asked, how is he better? And he said the little things. He's more focused on techniques and understanding the defense and understanding the whys of everything. And we went into, like, the importance of that, because you can't just rely on, like, I'm just going to lock this guy down. It's way more than that. And the better you understand that, the better you'll be. And Denzel Burke has gotten better in all of those areas.
Yeah, and silly Ohio State staff thinks it's a Buckeye Weekly. It's not canon that the audio is terrible on Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning yet.
There could be donuts behind us.
Could be soon. We're on our way. We talked about just about everyone on the team. Just about everyone other than the true freshmen really came out, and a couple of the redshirt freshmen came out and talked, and a couple guys had class, as is tradition. No Cam Brown because he had class.
Got to get that syllabus.
Welcome to academic season at Ohio State. We did get to talk to Cam Martinez, who is a really interesting. He just remains this, like, really interesting figure to me, because they've put him at corner, they've put him at safety. They feel like he can contribute a whole bunch of different places. He's been working at punt returner this year. You talk to Cam Martinez about the opportunity to be the punt returner. You get the sense Cam Martinez would love to be the punt returner. When you ask him about it, it's like, well, you'll have to ask Coach Parker about that. Parker Fleming, the special teams coordinator. And it kind of almost feels like it's, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a touchdown in the punt return? Because Cam Martinez, rather famously out of Muskegon, Michigan, was the Mr. Michigan, Gatorade Player of the Year in Michigan. I think basically all of the things. He was all of the things. Won some state championships, and had one of the greatest Huddle highlight films I can remember, which was just Cam Martinez, 10 minutes of touchdowns, and it was just a 10-minute film, just him scoring touchdowns, because he was like basically a wing T kind of quarterback, and he's pretty good with the ball in his hands. We saw him be pretty good with the ball in his hands. He ran back a pick six last year against either Tulsa or Maryland, one of those games. He had a pick six. So, you've seen him with the ball in his hands, and it's like, boy, if they just want to be safe, and you have this sort of KJ Hill route where it's just like catch the ball because we know the offense is going to score, then okay, you just have Jackson Smith and Jigba stand back there and fair catch it. But man, it would be the last punt return. Do you know the last time that there was a punt return touchdown by a Buckeye?
I know Chris Fields had one in like 2012, 2013. I know Philly Brown had a couple in 2012.
Jalen Marshall, Indiana, 2014. Yes, but it has been a hot minute. Not as long as it's been for a kickoff return for a touchdown, but it has been a hot minute since Ohio State has scored a touchdown on a return on special teams. So
I like that it's boring Jackson Smith and Jigba, or exciting Cam Martinez in a return game. And he has to miss having the football in his hands, and an opportunity to have it feels like he would be more aggressive with it. And it just depends on what they want. Like you said, do they want that aggression or do they just want the ball back to give it to C.J. Stroud?
And, I don't think if ball security was really an issue with him, you would think he probably would not still be working at punt return. If you were coughing the ball up on punt return, you're probably not going to be at that spot very long. He's still apparently there, so that leads me to believe he's doing okay with the ball in his hands. So that's just something to kind of keep an eye on. J.K. Johnson was a hot topic tonight. He was someone who, a lot of times you kind of, Cam Brown is like, is he healthy or not? Because if he's healthy, he'll be good, and if he's not, then he won't play, and that would be bad. Health is always kind of a question with him. J.K. Johnson is kind of the new shiny, where he has been healthy. They have had a lot of injuries, and just, not huge injuries, but, major enough injuries that Cam Brown has been on a pitch count, and Jordan Hancock has been banged up, and Denzel Burke missed a little bit of time. He's back, so that's good news. But, the beneficiary of a lot of that has been J.K. Johnson. J.K. Johnson has gotten to play a lot more than he probably would have, if everyone was healthy this fall and played more with the ones. It sounds like it too. He seems like he's maybe making the most of those opportunities.
Well, the first time we talked to Jim Knowles this fall camp, he was asked about the role for J.K. Johnson. He said it was too soon to tell, too early to tell, and everybody took that to mean like he's not doing well, so it's going to be somebody else. But yet he is still he has made a huge jump in the couple of weeks because of all of the snaps that he's gotten, going against Marvin Harrison, Emeka Egbuka, Julian Fleming, those kind of guys on the outside. You're going to get better, and he has really, really risen. He said he has confidence now, and I said, but you're a corner, don't you just? How do you have more confidence? And it's like he was not this guy last year, and of course he was injured the entire time, so he never really had a camp. So this is all kind of new, and it's not a matter of now he has to learn new technique or different technique. Now it's like it's kind of a clean slate, and a couple weeks in, he's really picking it up. He talked about when he got here last year for camp, he's 167 pounds. He weighs 185 now. He's much stronger than he was. Says he's faster. Mentioned that he's cousins with Jamison Williams, former Buckeye, former Alabama Crimson Tide, current Detroit Lion. And I asked him who is faster between the two of them. He said that they run the same speed, they run the same times, but that he thinks that JK thinks he himself is faster. Didn't Mickey Marotti in the spring say that J.K. Johnson was the fastest defender on the team? So
I think that's right. And when was the last time you heard a player when they were asked who's faster? And the question, it's even a remotely comparable question. We're not talking about DeJuan Jones versus Julian Fleming or something like that, but. Remotely competitive situation. When was the last time a player was like, no, actually, he would have me by about 1.5 yards? Because I can't. We've been doing this a while, and I can't remember a player ever fessing up to that.
Garrett Wilson with Chris Olave, because everybody thought like Chris Olave was going to run faster, and I think there were a couple of people saying, just watch out. Like that might not be the case, and I don't think Garrett Wilson ceded that speed either.
Another player who is a little bit in that Cam Martinez can do a bunch of different things kind of role for them is Court Williams. And Court Williams is someone that Jim Knowles talked about on Monday, and we talked a little bit with Kevin Noon about him on the Tuesday morning show. He is someone who, is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? It's a floor wax. It's a dessert topping. Yes, he's both. But in another grand fall camp tradition, he didn't sound like he wanted to talk all that much about exactly what he would be doing this fall.
Yeah, and I only caught a few minutes at the tail end, but he was asked about the Sam linebacker hybrid thing and said that I don't want to get into it, but I'm capable. And then he was asked, well, say you had to defend a tight end, like say Notre Dame's Michael Mayer, a really good tight end, do you think you could be on the field to help do that? Does that fit your skill set? And it was yeah, maybe. Yes, I will be on the field, but I can't tell you that I'm going to be on the field type of thing. But a really, really confident person, not a cocky guy at all, just a matter of fact, but also close to the vest with a lot of stuff. I think maybe that's why the coaches love him, is because he doesn't say much in terms of letting things out.
And coaches have loved him since. I think I remember Urban Meyer on, National Signing Day talking about Court Williams as a future captain on the team. And, he was someone who, he is now a current captain on the team. He was here when Urban Meyer was here, right?
It was Ryan Day.
Was it Ryan Day? Then it was Ryan Day talking about it. But yes, he was one of those, first day before he's even on campus kind of thing. People are talking about him as a captain. Now he's a captain. Perry Eliano, very much in the same vein, talked about what a great leader he is. Just gives him a lot of flexibility on defense. It's like, yeah, coaches love him, not just because he doesn't talk to us all that much or doesn't spill the beans all that much, and that was kind of a running theme. Josh Proctor was sort of asked about the difference between the safety role last year and this year. He's like, didn't want to get into it too much. You had an interesting conversation with Tim Walton about recruiting and what they're looking for in recruiting, because they have done over the last few years a pretty good job at defensive back recruiting. And this is like anything else, where some of the guys stick and some of the guys are now playing at North Carolina or Texas or whatever, but they have broadly done a pretty good job on the defensive back recruiting. What is Tim Walton looking for? Because he has not done the recruiting thing for a while. He's been in the NFL for pushing 20 years or something, at least more than 10 years. And what is he looking for when they're out shopping for defensive backs and recruiting?
Yeah, he looks for just the mentality, toughness and desire, and the competitiveness and technique. You can teach all of that. You can tweak all of that. And I'm guessing, like, all of these years in the NFL, when you look at the common denominator of everybody there, it's the competitiveness, because you're not going to get there if you don't care about it. So it's like the desire and all of that drives all of the work. That it's the work that the desire that has driven Denzel Burke to put in more work, and he's not the only one. J.K. Johnson, as we've been talking about just in camp, and studying and learning, and if you don't have that, like, you can only go so far, and you probably don't go past college.
And if you are watching live, thank you to everyone who's commenting in right now. If you are watching live, it would help us if you hit that thumbs up button. That just helps other folks find these shows as we're doing them. Just trying a little something different, doing a live episode of the morning show. I don't think we've done that before.
No, never been up at like 5 a.m. for the show.
Yeah, so just trying something new. You never know. Before we get into the last couple things I wanted to talk about, perfect time to plug BuckeyeHuddle.com. There's going to be a transition here, just wait. But Tony and I, Kevin Noon, covering the team for BuckeyeHuddle.com, Mark Gibler, Alex Gleitman covering the recruiting for us, Ross Fulton, Devin Radcliffe, Justin Whitlatch covering X's and O's. We have a fantastic team. We've got some really exciting stuff planned for the fall as we get into start getting into the season. And this really turns into, tomorrow's our last fall camp interviews, and then it's essentially game week here in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. So it would be a fantastic time to join BuckeyeHuddle.com. Only $12.99 a month, $124.99 for the year. If you're not sure, give it a try. What's $12.99 a month? That's give it a try for a month. That'll get you through the Notre Dame game and the Arkansas State game and the Toledo game at this point. So that's if you're not sold at that point, that's fine. You're out the price of a lousy chain store pizza, as they say,
or a gallon of gas.
Or depending on the station and how many points you have on your card. One of the benefits of being on our site, a member of BuckeyeHuddle.com, is you get to ask us questions. We're on the message board all the time. I was on the message board while we were sitting out in the lobby waiting for the interviews to start, and someone asked, have they decided who's going to be up in the box during the game? Which of the defensive coaches is going to be up in the box during the game? Because Jim Knowles had said earlier in the year he really wanted to be on the field. So, and they were going to have to just sort of sort out who was going to be up in the box. So I said, okay, hey, good news, we're here. I'll ask someone. So I asked Perry Eliano, and Perry Eliano said, yes, they've done that. They were going to test it out during scrimmages. They've both been up there, Tim Walton and Perry Eliano, because Larry Johnson and Jim Knowles are going to be down on the field. So, one of them is going to be up in the box, kind of keeping being the eye in the sky. And so I said, you did it? Yeah, yes, he's done both. So have you guys decided? He said, you're going to have to join us on September 3rd to find out. So we tried.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
That's all you can do. I did ask him, though, he has done both. He has done both the field thing and the box thing before. And I said, what's the difference to you? What are your, what are your different responsibilities there? And he wants to be on the field. And he didn't say he wants to be on the field, but just, he really wanted to talk about all the great stuff you get to do when you're on the field, and just the importance of being down there and talking to the guys and being able to look them right in the eye and, calm them down and or get them fired up, or just, you can really correct, you can really do teaching on the sidelines. He kind of went on for a long time. He wants to be on the sidelines. We'll see if he is or not.
Well, he is the higher coach. He is the secondary coach, Tim Walton. So it's like, the hierarchy of it. Like, you know what? I know, Perry, you'd love to be up there, but no, it's going to be me on the field and you up there. So I'm the boss of the secondary.
Yeah, he did earlier at one point say, whatever Jim Knowles wants him to do, this was in a different context. I don't even remember what it was, but he was just kind of like, yeah, whatever Jim wants me to do, that's fine. And so, Jim Knowles will make probably the ultimate decision there. If you're up in the box, you're kind of more in charge of diagnosing stuff. What are they doing? Hey, when we run this coverage, what are they doing? And just recognizing, diagnosing, and relaying information in a very quick, concise manner. This is one of these like real football minutia things that I think probably 60% of our audience is like, why are these morons talking about this again? It's like, no, this really does matter. It does make a big difference.
I'm wondering if this is one of those things as a husband where you break a dish so you don't have to do dishes early on. Like if Perry Eliano doesn't want to be up there, but he's up there, they're testing it out and he's like completely getting all of the coverages wrong. He's like, I'm telling you guys, I need to be on the field.
Box and one isn't even a thing that's basketball. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's probably not what's going to happen. But if it does, you called it. You called it. Last guy I really wanted to talk about was Jordan Hancock. He has kind of been one of the kind of low-key stories of camp because he's been out quite a while, and every time we ask about him, he's okay. It's not a long-term thing. He's just kind of been banged up, and so it doesn't sound like this is going to be a months and months and months problem. Going along with our earlier theme of no one wants to really tell you anything real specific. It was not, here's exactly the timeline for Jordan Hancock's return, but what are kind of the coach's impressions and other guys' impressions of him so far in camp with what they have been able to see?
Well, Tim Walton talked about his athleticism, his headiness, the way he studies it, and really that's another common denominator is just how much time these guys are putting into learning this defense, knowing it, and then putting it into practice. So he's a smart kid, hard worker, and a long, tall, fast corner that as soon as they can get him back, they're gonna. I still wonder how much these guys are gonna play because of how little Jim Knowles wants to rotate.
And he doesn't want to rotate, and also you've kind of been limited in what they've been able to see. And J.K. Johnson last year played one snap, right? But didn't he get hurt on the first play he was in? So he played third play. Yeah, I mean he played almost nothing last year, not at all last year. Jordan Hancock played a little bit last year, but has been banged up this fall. So you saw him in the spring, but not this fall. So yeah, and with Jim Knowles not necessarily being predisposed to rotate corners, with a real preset rotation, we'll have to see. But boy, I can't believe it. We are tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of fall camp interviews. We'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, maybe with a same bat live pregame show or postgame or whatever. What is this? Post-interview show, morning show? It doesn't matter. Whatever. Batman. I'm Batman. That's the important thing.
You better get the all of this right before you sell ads for it.
Quiet, Robin. Today was the defensive backs. Tomorrow we're finishing up with the wide receivers and I believe the specialists as well. So that's always one of those kind of low-key interesting interviews where you learn a lot. I am interested to hear. We have not heard an update on Parker Lewis in a little while, the kicker who is in NCAA transfer limbo from USC. So we'll get an update on that, and then there's probably some stories of the wide receivers. Any interesting players at wide receiver this year? I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but feels like
Jupe Mitchell.
Yes, just lost his black stripe. Walk on. Did see Cam Babb kind of jogging in.
Yeah, it was good to see.
He had a sleeve on his left knee and a brace on his left knee as well, but was kind of jogging around.
Jogging naturally, running back and forth.
Yeah, so that was an encouraging sign because he's, there have been all sorts of rumors floating in terms of exactly how severe.
Big smile on his face.
Yeah, and boy, there were a lot of smiles during the interviews tonight as well, and that's maybe kind of the personalities of the guys, but
camp is over.
Camp is over, and it seems, everyone seems to be feeling pretty good about things, so guessing Ohio State fans should be feeling pretty good about things as well. If you would like a place to feel good about things, BuckeyeHuddle.com. Make sure you check that out. Tony and Kevin and I, as I said earlier, covering the team. Mark and Alex on recruiting.
Ross, Devin.
Justin, and Devin on X's and O's. Really, we got the whole package. Really great, vibrant, very active community on the board as well. Really a fun place. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, because we are going to be doing a bunch of really cool stuff coming up. Pre-game shows, post-game shows, all sorts of fun stuff. You're going to want to be a part of that. We may even go live, you cowards, at some point before then. We understand that is something that the people seem to like, so we will probably do that as well. So make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed on the podcast platform of your choice to Big Me Kickoff, Buckeye Weekly, Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning. Those are our three.
Alex is getting ready.
Alex is getting. We're not there yet. Alex is. I can't give him a name because I don't have a name yet. But there are more podcasts coming.
It's Alex's Big Me Kickoff podcast.
That sounds. He should make his last name spell it like a day of the week, and then that would be smart. That's just pro advice for you, but that's okay. I'll tell him that off air. It doesn't matter. But yes, all those are our three podcasts right now. We have more stuff coming. I'm going to guess we're going to have a recruiting podcast pretty soon. Mm-hmm. I'm going to guess, based on the guys who are going to be doing it, that is going to be a very insightful and very entertaining podcast. So you will just find those. Just search Buckeye Huddle on whatever your podcast platform of choice is, and just mash that subscribe button on all of the podcasts that come up that are ours. Not all of them, just the ones that are ours. And leave us a 5-star rating and review as well. That will help other folks find those, which we do appreciate, as we're trying to build up audiences, and as well as on YouTube. Ring that bell, subscribe, get notified every time we go live, because as I said, we've got some exciting stuff coming up, and you're not going to want to miss it. College football season starts on Saturday, and Buckeyes 11 days away, so can't wait. I mean, as we're talking right now, this is right about kickoff time on September 3rd. So looking at the light, going, ooh, there might be some pretty pictures that night. So I'm starting to get excited as well. So that'll do it for today. Thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.